In the beginning, there were only regular fights, simple and mundane tiffs between humans and other things. But as the things learned to fight back, something new was created. The boss fight. The boss fight increased in difficulty, all the way to nightmare mode. Soon, there was no hope for the mere mortal human. But then, the greatest sage and the greatest battle master started to share their wisdom with others. You're now about to listen to that wisdom. The great wisdom of Austin and Aubrey.
When it's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Boss Fighters! It's Boss Fight.
That's pretty good. I didn't know what to expect from that.
That's it. It's Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey. I'm Austin.
And I'm Aubrey.
So, Aubrey, what is Boss Fight?
Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey is an advice show where we, the greatest sage and the greatest battle master of all time, give you, the listener, the tips, tricks, and strategies that you need to defeat the biggest boss fights in your own life. That is what we do.
11 episodes in, and I think that's the first time we've really nailed the description.
Yeah, mostly because we finally typed it out and actually put it in the right place, i.e. the beginning, instead of the wrong place, i.e. the end.
You wouldn't think it was as difficult as it was, but we made it. It's been a long journey, but we did do it.
We've made it past the double digits. Most people actually give up at about 10, so...
If 8-year-old me is to be believed, this 11th episode is the luckiest.
Oh, okay.
Because 11 was my basketball number that year. You know, looking back, it wasn't a great year in terms of wins to losses, but it was the best one I had had, so...
Okay. Well, here's my basketball experience. Because you, Austin, are tall in comparison to the average man, and I am short in comparison to the average man. So I'm sure that every once in a while they gave you the ball to at least, throw up there once or twice into the big ol' hoop, or to do the rebounds and whatnot. But for me, being short and all, I never got the ball. Ever. I played almost all the time because I was really good at defense because I was real quick, but I couldn't dribble worth a darn, so I never got it. But then the last game of the season, back when I was young, I don't know what grade this was, but the very last game of the season, my coach felt bad for me because I had never scored a point. So when we were destroying our opponents by like 30 points, what he did is he just stood me underneath the basket, and as soon as anybody got the ball, they'd throw it to me, and then I'd get to shoot. And guess what? Still didn't make a basket. So there's too much pressure to put on 6th grade me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's
And then crazy enough, I found the 2 tallest guys in the 6th grade basketball tournament thing that they did. They did a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. I found the 2 tallest guys in my grade. And I put them on my team, and we won the whole thing. They just scored all the baskets, and I just took the ball away from other people because they were taller. Yeah.
That really fits into my understanding of you as a person.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt and Garrett. I appreciate that. I know you're out there and you're definitely not listening to this, but if you are, I appreciate both of you for being tall and still being my friend. Thank you for your service. And that's my basketball story.
Good. Well, enough about basketball. We are talking about Halloween. You did call Boss Fighters to come to your neighborhood and get to the bottom of whatever strange thing is happening.
And also to talk about basketball earlier in the day, of course. That's a free service that we give.
We do like to make small talk because we like you to feel comfortable when we come respond to your call. It's not all business, like we're friendly, we're your neighborhood boss fighters, and
but now down to business.
We'll get the job done, but it's a passion. It's not a business transaction.
Yeah, and we're here now. We've got our vacuums strapped on our backs, and we're here to suck up all the ectoplasm that Slimer got all over your fridge because he ate all the food in there.
Oh, darn.
Oh darn, Slimer, not again.
It is boss fight. It is Halloween rapidly approaching. It is time to tackle the most pressing Halloween concerns and challenges. Aubrey, what is first on our list this week?
First on our list this week, and it's very relevant as it's time to go shopping. Dear Austin and Aubrey, what candy should I give out this Halloween to make the kids on the block think that I'm hip? And that is from Cool Candy on the cul-de-sac.
Okay. This is very important because kids remember which houses gave them the best candy.
And those houses do not get egged or forked or Vienna sausaged or anything else TP'd.
Vienna sausage, that's one I'm not familiar with.
Oh, that one's really good. It's where you take toothpicks and you take a bunch of Vienna sausages and you stick them. It's like forking, but you use toothpicks and Vienna sausages. We did that to... It's actually kind of funny now that I look back on it. The percussion director my senior year of high school, me and the drumline did that to him one time, and we saran wrapped his car to where he couldn't open it, open the doors. Yeah, we did all of that. It took a lot. And now that I'm an adult, he's actually my friend, and we go over there and we play board games over at his house, the same house that when I was a shitty teenager that I put Vienna sausages all in his yard and saran wrapped his vehicle. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
It might be hard for you to believe as just mischievous and cunning and a troublemaker as I am that I have never done anything like that.
So you want to make sure that you don't get this bad thing, and so you have to give out the good candy. But I think let's start with candies that you definitely need to avoid.
No, this is important because I feel like it happens every year. People give out shitty candy, and I don't know why they're doing it because it's bad. And so I think we just need to make a blanket statement and say these candies are on the blacklist. Like, you cannot give out these candies if you want any hope of saving your house from toilet paper.
Dots. Number 1.
Yes. Dots. Runts. I hate runts.
Not
They're
everybody
bad.
hates runts, but the banana ones are the only good ones, in my opinion.
That's what's baffling to me is everyone says the banana ones are the only good ones, and I hate bananas. So, like, there's nothing redeeming about runts to me. They're chalky, they're gross, they disintegrate into a nasty, bitter powder. I cannot get behind runts.
3, butterscotch candies. Do I like butterscotch? Yes. But do I really want... I don't know. It's just not the kind of thing that I want in my candy bag.
Now, hold on. I don't know. If somebody dropped a Werther's Original in my bag, I think I'd be pretty excited.
Did I say Werther's Original? I said generic brand butterscotch.
Okay, fair enough. Yes. Has to be Werther's Original. Don't even come at me with anything less. Okay, number 4 is, of course, Bit-O Honey.
Oh, God.
The people that make these candies is like who tasted it and was like, yeah, sure, this will fly.
All right, this one may be a little bit controversial, but candy corn. Candy corn is like slightly flavored wax garbage.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
Don't like candy corn. I don't like the candy pumpkins. They tried to upgrade candy corn by making some of it chocolate, and that didn't work. I think candy corn is a fun decoration. It's not. I don't want it in my trick or treat basket.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's gross. It's gross.
Yeah. I also
wax
don't
garbage.
want. I also don't want you to reach into a bowl of loose candy corn and drop it in there. Like, that is...
Yeah, that's the other thing that's real gross. I say Whoppers.
Okay,
Are we going to duke it out about Whoppers? I'm trying to find things that you may not like.
I hear you on Whoppers, but if we're talking about kids do like Whoppers.
Why?
So I feel like... I don't know.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I should be more in touch. I'm a teacher.
So when I was doing my brief stint as a math tutor, we had this like candy bucket where like kids if they had an exceptionally good day or like did like a puzzle at the end of the day while they were waiting to get picked up or whatever, they could get a piece of candy. And the things that always went the fastest were Kit Kats, Reese's, Whoppers, and we actually had these. Oh, I forget what they're called. They were these Asian like candies that were like kind of like a chewy taffy almost, but like the flavors were like really good. They had like mango and green apple and strawberry. I don't know. I really liked them, and the kids really liked them too. Those always went really quickly. But yeah, no, kids like Whoppers for a reason, and I don't know what the reason is. But and you know, speaking of Asian candies, transitioning into what candies you can give out, so you'll be the cool candy guru. I think what you do is you get several different bowls of candy and you hide them out of sight. So when trick-or-treaters come to your door, you open it, you assess their costumes, and you're like, oh, okay, this kid is clearly into Japanese culture. He wants these Asian chews and some Pocky.
Yeah, are they dressed up like an anime? Not an anime character, but an entire anime.
Have they transformed their body into an anime?
Because if they have, then give them some of that Japanese candies out there. Give them some of that Asian culture.
Yeah, but then if you've got a kid who's like dressed up like a Fortnite character, then give them a Kit Kat and send them on their way.
Can you describe a Fortnite character to me?
No, I can't.
I can't.
Here, let me. I think. I don't know Fortnite costume. Let me see. Oh, they exist.
Of course they exist. It's like the coolest thing for them.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's basically just like any of like the skins you can get in Fortnite. Made into costumes.
If it looks like an off-brand Overwatch character, it's probably a Fortnite character.
That's true. Now, if you do get a kid who's dressed up like an Overwatch character,
you give them a king-size candy bar of their choice,
or two, maybe.
Or two. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. There's a $20 Genji costume at Target that looks pretty good. Yeah, if you've got a kid who's dressed up like Genji, they don't deserve to be rewarded.
They do not deserve those candy bars. If you're a Genji main, get out of here.
Yeah.
One of my students is a Genji main, and I know that because he's got a hoodie that he wears, and it's like, I don't know why, it looks like it's Genji. So I walked up to him one day and I was like, "You're a Genji main?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Get out of my band hall." And I walked away.
Excellent.
It's like every time that I see a kid with an anime shirt that I have watched, which is a very short list, but if I have seen it, then I'll comment on it to them because I know that those kids typically are only friends with other kids that have watched that anime or said animes, right? And so none of the other teachers get it, and so I always go out of my way to go, "Oh man, I like that show," and then they're like, "You've watched that show?" I'm like, "Yeah, get on my level. Bye." And I walk away. I never get in a discussion with it, but I let them know that I know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I'll throw out one little tidbit, like, "Yeah, that character is this name." And then I'll be like, "Okay, cool. I'm going to go teach now." And then they think I'm cooler. So can you just bring up current events and things that are cool with the kids? You don't have to give them good candy necessarily to make them think you're cool. You got to do cool things.
Now, you can't give them bad candy. Let's be clear. But it doesn't have to be a king-size Snickers every time, you know?
Right. Just give them a fun-size Snicker, and then be like, "Hey, you want to see me do a backflip?" And then you do it right then and there. Maybe.
So I think the important thing here is you got to do your research, right? You got to put in the time, research all the pop culture costumes. Like if you see some Overwatch characters minus Genji, or maybe Hanzo, then you can reward that behavior. If you see some Fortnite costumes, you give them dots. You don't want to be friends with those kids anyway. If you see some anime characters, you do have to reference that specific anime, and then you give them some Pocky, right? If you see a kid dressed up in just a sheet with 2 holes cut out of it,
that child needs a hug. That's what that child needs.
Okay, well, you're nicer. I was going to say you give them a rock, but...
I'm saying if that kid only showed up with a sheet, it probably means that their parents didn't have enough money to get them a costume.
All right, well, I guess it depends... How old are they? Because it could be an ironic thing.
Because if they're young, just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, kid. Here's a big candy. And here's a friend. I've been saving these children down in my basement for a while, and you can have this one as a friend.
Maybe don't say that.
But you do it anyways. The sentiment's still there. You can say it in a different way, but make sure that you give that child one of the other children that you've been hiding in your basement for a few years.
I'm just going to make a quick call. Aubrey, don't mind me.
Okay. See, because the thing is, but you have to make sure that once you do that, you replenish your stock. Right? That you don't ever run out of friends to give other children.
Yes, 911.
So, really what you need...
He's got kids.
Oh.
No, he's got kids.
Why did you call me? What were you trying to accomplish there? I get the bit, but why call me out of that? I was
trying to get in the moment, so I did hold my phone up to my face, and my face hit the call button because you were the last person that texted me, so it popped up, and I accidentally hit the call you button and ruined the whole bit. So, here we are.
Here's what you need to do. Close down your house, number 1. They won't know. Like, just turn off all the lights and whatnot. Put a sign in the front yard that says, I'm skateboarding around the neighborhood. Come find me. And you're skateboarding around doing 360 gainers and kick flips and ollies and whatnot. Like you're, a character in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And you've also got a big bag of candy that you're just tossing random things at kids.
That's pretty cool.
Now you're the hippest dude on the block. Have you tried dressing up as one of the kids to become one of the youths?
Hello, fellow kids.
Hello, fellow children. I am also a young person. Here with my skateboard and my bag of candy.
I think if you actually did, though, dress up as a Fortnite character and do some of the dances, that might be overboard, because then the kids will never want to leave because they'll think you're some kind of pop culture god.
It's fair.
I don't know. It's a fine line, I think.
Dear Austin and Aubrey, what is the spookiest thing to put in a makeshift haunted house in my front yard? And that is from Horrible at Haunted Houses in Houston. Student loan debt.
Say anxiety.
An interaction with coworkers in which you do have to stand there and talk about things, but none of it's about business, so it feels like a waste of time. Ooh. Meetings that could have been an email.
Oh God. Okay. Yes.
We've already talked about that, though.
We've done that at length. What you can do is you need to set up your house to put people in the most uncomfortable situations, right? So you get an area of your house or your yard or whatever, that it's just a guy dressed up like a banker at a desk, and he's got a collection notice for student debt. That's a good one. And then you have, when they get to the door, or when they're walking up to the door to collect their candy, you wave at them, and they're like, hi, but it turns out you are actually waving at the person behind them.
Oh my God! That's so good. You make sure that you have somebody walk just far enough behind them that they hold the door open for an inopportune amount of time. Like, do I just go in, or do I keep holding it for this person because I can't tell if they're far away enough? You figure out that perfect distance.
Ooh. Or if you have a multiple story building with an elevator, you like have them go in the elevator and then have someone come in behind and they're like, "Oh, hold the elevator," and they're like, "Oh, and they don't do it. So then that person takes the stairs and they meet up at the same time and they give them the stink eye.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Oh man.
Ooh, no, I got it. You walk into the house and you're like, they walk into the house and you're like, "Okay, great, come have a seat. The exam's starting in 5 minutes." And
you make sure that,
and then it's like that nightmare where you didn't prepare for the test and all the questions are nonsense.
Yes. You make sure that it's filled with people that walk up to them that know their name and they're like, "Oh, hey, Derek," and then that person's like, yeah," and then the person that you've hired is like, "Oh, long time no see, right? I can't believe you're here at this haunted house," and blah 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 blah, because then you make sure that person doesn't figure out what the original person's name is, and they go home thinking that they forgot somebody important in their lives.
Damn, yeah, these are really scary. Wow. I don't think I could survive this.
I don't know if I could do it.
I would cringe myself into a pile of dust. Like, when they try to get up to the front door, have someone like walking down from the front door and they meet on the pathway and they do that awkward like sidestep where they both go the same direction.
Yes.
Like 3 or 4 times.
Yes. That's a good one too. And the entire time they're getting calls from numbers that they don't recognize on their phone.
Ooh.
Maybe there's every time that they open a door, there's somebody standing on the other side trying to sell something to them.
Ooh.
And there's somebody dressed up as a Girl Scout or an actual Girl Scout trying to sell off. Well, no, because you'd eat Girl Scout cookies. There's
no. It's someone dressed up as a Jehovah's Witness, and they've got pamphlets.
You know, where you're just stuck in between. Like, look, I want to support you, or I want this, but like I don't want this. You know, just that. Because Jehovah's Witnesses, I can walk by them no problem whatsoever. Or, to be honest, the amount of times I go shopping during the Christmas season and I see somebody out there, like, from the Salvation Army with their ringing bell, and, like, the first few times I'll put a few cents in there if I can, but after a while you're just like, this is my money. You know, I've done this several times, but now I feel bad when I walk by them because I've already given you all my nickels, dimes, and pennies. What am I supposed to do at this point?
Well, because you can't fork off quarters.
Exactly. That's how I do my laundry. Yeah, so you fill those up. It's the social anxiety haunted house. Welcome to it. You're going to hate it.
Yeah, it's going to be a terrible, terrible time for you to put on, but that's going to make a lasting impression.
Ooh, and a dentist that reminds you that you didn't floss at all.
Ugh. And they try to talk to you while your mouth is open.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing is like I don't like scary things. I don't go to haunted houses. I don't watch horror films. But those are easily avoidable, right? Like I can willingly steer myself away from those things. What I cannot avoid, however, are all these awkward situations. They are an ever-present, like, looming threat in my life, and so having to be confronted with all of them at once, I think would be just the most... It's the most scary thing I can imagine, because it's very real.
Oh, man. This one time in college, it was one of the greatest things I think I've experienced from, like, my friend did this, and I'm so proud of them kind of deal. But my friend, Tori Kress, you know Tori.
I do know Tori, yes.
So for her honors project, her senior year, she put on this interactive play with her and other kids from the theater department where they were all playing characters at this party, and you were invited to this party, and so you showed up and you interacted with all of them and got to know them, and you started learning about all the drama that they had between each other, and then it just got like more and more awkward all the time as they had like fights in front of everybody, and like they expected you to take sides and do all of these things, and you felt like you were in a teen drama sort of, but it felt more real because they were adult topics. And it just, man, the anxiety that I felt, and I put myself in there, and the fact that like they could make me feel that way meant that she did a great job of it. It was cool, and it was not fun at all, but it made me, it affected me.
I mean, that's the
nuts.
mark of like a good performance, right? Like it makes you feel something, because
Yes.
I can, like, if I watch a movie with like a villain and I hate them, like I know that they're doing a great job, right? Like, well, because some villains are like really good, and you're like, oh yeah, that's so crazy. But there's some people that are just like, wow, how could you do this? It's such a believable performance.
That's basically most of the villains in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right? It's just like, ugh.
Well, that's Joffrey and Ramsay Bolton, really.
Man, the vindication when they... Spoilers. But...
It's a good spoiler!
Yeah. I didn't...
Spoiler, when
I-
they did
I-
the thing.
I didn't want to continue just in case, but... Anyway,
Solid.
The show is so good because you pick sides, you hate some characters, you want them to get theirs, and sometimes they do, but then sometimes they don't. Like, oh man, I need that show back.
It'll come back, I promise.
I know, but it's been so long and I can't.
Dear Austin and Aubrey, I keep hearing howling coming from my neighbor's backyard, but the last 3 times that I've checked, their dog's been asleep while the howling's been going on. I think my neighbor's a werewolf. How do I figure out if he's a werewolf or not? That's from Gmail.
Does this only happen around the Halloween season? Because the howling might just be them singing along to Werewolves of London.
Could also be sex noises. I'll go out there and I'll say it.
Yeah.
Some people have different things that they do during the sex.
You know, it actually might be sex noises.
Some people like to howl at the moon. Some people just say things like, oh, yes, indeed, indubitably. And then some people recite the Gettysburg Address. It just depends on who they are, and we don't need to shame them for this.
Uh-huh.
Or automatically assume that they're werewolves or robots or Abraham Lincoln.
Right. Okay, we're just gonna pass over that real quick. Yeah.
None of those were me.
So,
I promise.
But like because what I'm saying though is if you're playing the song Werewolves of London, it is impossible not to sing along and also like do the howling.
They could just be watching Zootopia over and over again.
They could be watching Zootopia on loop, but specifically
that could
just
be their
that
ASMR.
Scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe Howling Wolves. That's their ASMR.
Maybe it's just the latest like playlist of Halloween white noise for sleeping.
Right.
Like so you've got bats screeching, you've got werewolves howling, you've got spells being cast,
vampire blood-sucking sounds.
Mm-hmm. Tasty.
Ooh, I want to suck your blood.
Well, that would lull me to sleep.
Yeah, I like it. You don't know that, but let's say none of that's real though, Austin. I hear howling. It's not from dog. It is probably from human. How do I find out if is human or is Wolfman?
So, okay. So there's a couple things you could do. You need to see what their reaction to silver is, and you do have to be discreet. So you've got to come up with some kind of ruse to get silver in their hands, or at least in their vicinity. Because if they recoil, or they seem really uncomfortable, then you know that it is probably a werewolf. But if they don't seem phased, then it's probably just a normal person with a weird howling fetish.
Yeah, but you do have to understand, if you give them that silver and they're like, yeah, this is great, they're still probably lying.
Yeah. You're going to have to learn how to effectively read people for that situation.
Yeah. What else do werewolves do besides howl and not like silver?
They eat animals.
They do eat.
And sometimes people.
Have you ever seen this person eat before? Because if he's eating, he's probably a werewolf.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more like, have you seen, picked at animal carcasses in their backyard?
But that could be the sleeping dog.
Well, what kind of dog is it?
I don't know. He didn't say.
Well, we don't have all the information we need to answer this question.
I'm assuming the buffest pit bull you've ever seen in your entire life.
But but pit bulls don't howl. Like, they bark.
So a dachshund.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's something small that's noisy and it's making up for it.
Does werewolves have lots of hair? So does your neighbor have hair? Like anywhere on his body?
That's true.
Because if he's got hair, then there you go. Clearly a werewolf.
Yeah,
Does he have pointy teeth?
Ooh, yeah, if got those sharp canines.
Yeah, that's why they're called canines. Does he have those sharp ones? Because there's you gotta make sure they're not fangs though, because then he just might be a howling vampire.
Ooh, then you got a whole different set of problems.
Yeah, combine it. Can you imagine if you had a vamp wolf as a neighbor? It'd be crazy.
Ooh, a werepire.
A werepire. That just makes it sound like sometimes you turn into a pyre.
Yeah, so sometimes you float out to sea and are on fire.
And are lit on fire. You can't help it. It's just something that happens every full moon. I am a werepire. So you just catch on fire like every once in a while? Sounds like the Human Torch.
No, it's much worse. Way less cool with no movie rights.
It's so bad.
Okay, so yeah, you gotta do your werepire tests. Your classic litmus for paranormal activity.
You should search their hair because they've got body hair. Search it for fleas. If they're flea ridden, werewolf.
From what I understand is that werewolves, when they're human, like it's not just that they have a lot of hair on the head. It's like they've got hair. So, like, is hair sticking out from their shirt on their chest? Do they have really hairy knuckles? Like, are their fingernails more like claws? These are some things that you need to be acutely aware.
So once you've identified that he is a werewolf, what you need to do is figure out what kind of werewolf is he. Because does he use really bad language? Because in that case, he's a swear wolf. Give me one back.
Well, if it feels like he notices a lot of things, he might catch on to you snooping around because he's in a werewolf.
Does he try to do a lot of sick tricks? Because then he might be a dare wolf.
Does he usually, like, if you go over to ask to borrow, like, a cup of sugar or his lawnmower, he's probably just a share wolf. However, if you go over and you find out that a large furry mammal that is not a wolf answers the door and likes, I don't know, salmon, he's probably just a bear wolf.
Does he have a twin brother? Because they might be pair wolves.
You know, if you open the door and he's completely naked, he's probably also a bear wolf.
I was gonna say a nare wolf.
Oh.
Because he has no hair anymore.
Oh god. But is he always helping out the community? Because he's probably just a care wolf.
Is he a total fucking loser? Because then he's probably a square wolf.
Is he like a real handyman that works at Lowe's? Because he probably is just a Where's wolf.
That also works if he's always obsessed with Where Waldo books. Does he
Where's
come
Wolf?
from a Does he come from a very rich dynasty of people? Because then he might be an heir wolf.
Oh, interesting.
Is he a referee in his off time? Because then he might be a fair wolf.
Does he have an affinity for like Halloween movies that look like they were shot by somebody holding a camera researching some mysterious claims? Because he's probably a Blair wolf.
Damn, that's good. Have you ever seen him blink? Because if not, he's probably a stare wolf.
Oh. Does he always avoid the elevator and take stairs and like always admire? Because then he might also just be a stare wolf.
That's very, very true. Is he a percussionist? Because he might be a snare wolf.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
That also works
Yeah.
if he sets a lot of traps.
Yeah. Is he always sitting down? Because then he might be a chair wolf.
Does he like ripping things apart? Because then he's probably a tear wolf. Does he live not so much in a house, but like a cave? Because he's probably a lair wolf.
Does he go to church every Sunday? Because he might be a prayer wolf.
Ayy.
Does he have the social anxiety haunted house in his front yard? Because he might be a scare wolf.
Is he actually just a sorority girl? Because then he's probably a Claire wolf.
Okay. I think we broke the rule of 5 with that.
I would say we did that multiple times over.
That was a tight 15, and you're welcome for all of those terrible werewolf puns. It took us a while to get there.
No. We did it. We're not proud of it. Well, no,
But
actually,
we did it.
That's a lie.
I'm very proud of the
Yeah.
fact that we could go. That was a challenge.
That was a
Welcome.
good amount. That was a good amount of werewolf puns.
Welcome to the Werewolf Pun Challenge of 2018. Can you outdo our puns? Probably not, but if you can, send us a video. Let's make it viral, kids.
Yeah.
I am a kid just like you, skateboarding around this cul-de-sac with my candy, and I challenge you, child of ages 8 to 18. It's too old to trick or treat. 8 to 14. Is that still too old?
No, I think that's still okay.
You, adolescent, ages 4 to 14, to do the werewolf challenge. That is me. Child Youngman.
For real though, if you do come up with a good one, tweet us. We're at BossFightCast on Twitter.
Yeah. And you know what? Email us stuff too. Email us the longest list. Or just tweet for every individual one. You can catch us. Well, you can't catch us. You can send anything you want to bossfightcast@gmail.com. Please do it. Send us questions.
Yeah, questions mostly, but also we do appreciate a good werewolf pun.
Yeah, and, tweet us on the Twitter sphere, like you said. You can also contact us at positivethoughts.com/contact. You can make us there. We got a Facebook page. We have social medias. There you go. That's all you need to know.
We also have 2 ears and a caring heart. So if there's anything you want to tell us, we're here for you.
Yeah, and we have the plans for the greatest haunted house of all times. So, you're welcome, kids.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm still talking as if I am Child Youngman.
Child Youngman.
Yeah.
Who
Youngman
relates to fellow kids in a relatable manner.
Do you want to watch me floss? Like in the cool way, the dance trend. Not
the clean teeth kind, because the dentist can suck
I don't
it.
clean my teeth. The dentist is a loser. and I'm gonna get all the cavities, and then they have to deal with it.
Watch me do a backflip.
Oh shit! Ah! Oh, it didn't work. Ah.
Anyway, while Child Youngman recovers from his daring flip stunt, we'll just take a hiatus from this one, and we'll catch you next week.
10 cc's of Snickers fast. God, just give me the can. God.
Do you want
doctor? Oh God, you're not a real doctor. You're just dressed up as one.
Do you want Whoppers? I got Whoppers.
No, I need dots. Give me dots.
Oh.
I mean, no, not dots. Oh, dots, they're gonna know.
Anyway, while Child Youngman recovers and we find him some Snickers, we'll leave you this week and catch you next week on Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey.